All right, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to another open discussion and various topics. Class number 140. We have quite a bit to cover today. So let us open up with reciting the prayer for spiritual workers. And we'll go straight into our Q&A session, as well as reviewing of the material that we'll be covering today. We'll be taking a brief departure from a review of class 101 series, because we had several questions that were emailed into us. And we're going to look at those questions. We answered those questions via email, but we're going to go over those answers and for the benefit of everyone else, as well as add a bit more commentary to those questions. And then we will also share all the materials that we have posted and sent out through email. And if we have time, we'll dive a little deeper into that subject matter. And then that'll set us up to go back next time, hopefully next week, to continue our review of the Metaphysics 101 class, going over the transcript and using some additional handouts and notes and answering additional questions which you may have on that material also. All right, so let's open up with the prayer for spiritual workers. Prayer for spiritual workers. Almighty God, I bless all those who, because of their limitations, would smite me. Almighty God, I bless all those who, because of their weakness, would not heed me. Almighty God, I bless all those who, because of their ignorance, will defile you through me. And I ask, Almighty God, O wondrous power, that your strength may be given to me now, so that I might be fortified by this, so that I might go forward bravely into the world, and despite reception, send forth my love of thee throughout all races of man. Almighty God, give me the power and strength to rise above my karmic weakness, the deficiencies in the pattern of my evolution, so that I might evolve and become stronger, and even stronger in thy everlasting light. O God, thy will be done. All right, once again, welcome. Open discussion and various topics, class 140. So today we will be looking at a couple of questions that were emailed to us, ranging from, we'll say, the Mystic Constitution of Man, as well as some questions that were raised from some of the teachings from the Aetherius Society, particularly the 9 freedoms. And then we'll also look at some questions regarding the history of terrestrial man, ranging all the way back to Maldek. And if we have time, we could be able to actually cover a PowerPoint presentation that Nehemiah had produced some years ago regarding the destruction of the planet Maldek, and which is a lecture series in which the teachings of the Aetherius Society, as well as the teachings of Madame Blavatsky and Alice Bailey, looking at the history of humanity, ranging all the way back to the planet Maldek, what happened on Maldek, and how we made our way here to the Mother Earth. So hopefully we'll be able to cover all of it in today's session. If not, then we can continue this discussion in a subsequent session. But we were still covering the Metaphysics 101 series. Let me put that up on the screen really quick. So if you remember, if you go to our YouTube channel and under playlists, scroll down a bit, you can see the Metaphysics 101 playlist. We are working our way through class 2 of this lecture series. We're going through the transcript and using the transcript as our roadmap. We're also including additional handouts and discussion on the topics covered in the Metaphysics 101 series. And then from there, we'll move into the 21 lessons of metaphysics, the foundation of mystic and yogic teachings. We'll make our way through this playlist, covering most of the classes in this list in the same format of following along with a transcript, as well as any original handouts and illustrations that were used during the lecture series, and including some more recent handouts that were created since the series was given almost 10 years ago. Okay. As per usual, if you have any questions or comments, feel free to post them in the chat, and we will do our best to answer those for you. And we'll continue moving along throughout today's session, even though we'll be looking at some selected topics and answering some already posed questions earlier to us via email. You also have the option of doing that as well. You can email us your questions, and if you're okay with us answering those questions publicly in a subsequent open discussion session, let us know. If not, let us know you'd like to have these answers, keep those answers private, and we would just answer you directly and not share those responses with others. All right, so do we have any questions or comments to start off today's session? Give me 1 second. Okay, sorry about that. All right, so since there are no questions yet, let's move into the questions that were emailed to us. Okay, so for this question, the question is in, zoom in a bit, make it easier for me to see. The question itself is in black, and the response is in blue. So everyone on YouTube, please let me know if you're able to see this clearly. Or if I need to change the background a bit to make it easier to read. The first question, we split into two in order to give a more in-depth answer. And along with these answers, we have a few handouts. So I will be moving back and forth. Actually, let me see if I can put them side by side like I've done in the past. That way we can look at both. Maybe a bit harder for you to read if I go this way, but we'll, let me share the screen. And so can everyone on YouTube, can you clearly make out the text on the left-hand side and the diagram on the right-hand side? If not, then I'll just maximize one and then go back and forth as we're answering, as we're reading the responses. And, oh, there's a question here to start off. Is Mars Sector 6 a part of Galactic Federation?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yeah. To my knowledge, he is a galactic.
Oh, we lost the audio for a second there. He said, to your knowledge, he is a galactic, and then the audio went out.
You hear me now?
Yeah, but it's going in and out.
I know it's unstable for some reason.
Oh.
Yeah, he is a galactic lord, to my knowledge, and I did hear the phrase Galactic Federation, but I don't think that's played up too much. How about you, Dwayne?
He's a part of Galactic.
Phrase a lot.
Have I heard what? I'm sorry.
Have you heard that phrase, the Galactic Federation? The Galactic Federation. Have you heard that a lot?
I'm trying to think. Not as much as the Interplanetary Parliament, or
yeah. But we know that he moves across the galaxy.
Right.
They have missions where they explain how he went deep into the galaxy. And satellite number 3 moves throughout the galaxy as well.
Mm-hmm. I think most of the movements of Mars Sector 6 and satellite number 3 that we're told about are interplanetary within our solar system. We are told about multiple missions outside of our solar system. For example, Garuch and Gotha. But most, as far as I know.
Yeah, but remember how Dr. King talked. He said when he enter into the solar system, he can be in multiple areas. So that let us know that the satellite goes outside of the solar system.
Right.
I think at one time he said they can be several places in the galaxy and still here.
Mm-hmm.
So we know that, that that satellite number 3 not only service the solar system, but service the galaxy. You know, so there's not a lot of is there, and when you hear them talk, I mean, why would he have to enter the solar system? So you know he was coming from another solar system somewhere in the galaxy.
Right.
Or maybe even outside the galaxy. We don't know.
See, is any other questions? Okay. All right, so if you have additional or any questions, additional questions, feel free to post them in the chat, and I will I'll periodically go back and forth between these questions and the chat to make sure I catch all of them. So the first question reads, I understand that Adamic man's lowest vibration was at the heart chakra. Does this mean that he didn't have a digestive system absorbing food from the sun? So the first part of the question, understand that Adamic man's lowest vibration was at the heart chakra. The Adamic man had no need for astral bodies, which was formed out of the astral distortion as described by the Tibetan, a member of the Great White Brotherhood, that spoke through Alice A. Bailey. The astral planes are realms of existence designed as an extra cover or shield for the true power or essence of the Mother Earth. Now, Adamic man was the original inhabitants of Earth. Okay, so this is going back into the past, as humanity was housed on Maldek. The Mother Earth was here, but in a much higher, existed in much higher vibration, and the life forms that inhabited the Mother Earth at that time, we could know to refer to them as Adamic man. And their bodies, as we're going to get into in this answer, are of a much different constitution than to the fourth aspect bodies we inhabit now. Dr. George King briefly described this when he described element X as an earth substance that was withdrawn from the surface of the earth some 18.6 million years ago. Element X was the medium in which the immense power of the Mother Earth was shared with all its inhabitants, including all aspects of life from the micro level to the macro level. One of its shared powers was allowing mankind to inhabit a gross body for hundreds or thousands of years for its life cycles in order to gain valuable experience. Okay, so this is a bit shifting forward now. So we've mankind referring to us when we're introduced here, but at prior to Atlantis and Lemuria. Dr. George King stated this in his book, The Visit to the Logos of Earth, that this element X was pulled closer to the Logos of Earth out of the reach of the physical realms. And in his etheric projected state, as he traveled down through the Earth's layers, he recognized the layers of element X embedded deep within Earth's body. Because of the subtraction of the element X, the energetic and elemental configuration of the multiple realms of the heart chakra that make up the realms of the adepts was split up in order to produce the lower chakras known as, number 1, the solar plexus chakra, number 2, the sex chakra, and number 3, the base of the spine chakra. The split of these subtle and gross energies creates a lower and denser frequency of energy that flows, of lower and denser frequency of energy flow that creates the layers of astral distortion. These lower flows of astral distortion creates the matrix that helps to manifest the gross physical planes of existence. So if you look here at the 7 upper and 7 lower chakras diagram, at the time of Adamic man, as you see here, this illustration is current terrestrial man. That is the metaphysical makeup of us at present, as well as reflective of the realms on Earth. For Adamic man, their base of the spine was at the heart chakra. So to visualize this, you can say Sushumna for them went from the Christ to the heart and stopped there. When Adamic man had to vacate the Mother Earth, and the Mother Earth had to prepare herself to take upon the life forms which had just destroyed a planet, these 3 realms, and subsequently all these realms here, but these 3 realms were not present on the Mother Earth. And so the heart center, the realms of the heart center were extended out, and from the heart center came the solar plexus, center and realm, the sex center, center and realm, and base of the spine, center and realm. Now, a lot of changes had to take place on the Mother Earth to allow for these lower realms to take place, to be expressed and built upon her, to allow her to express herself onto these lower realms so that we can come upon the Mother Earth and take up the respective bodies in which we currently have, and to gain experience on these gross physical planes of existence. Helena Blavatsky stated that the ring past knot was placed around the Earth 18.6 million years ago, which also included extra layers of subtle gross matter, astral gross matter, and gross physical matter. H.P. Blavatsky even went so far as to say that the layers of sand blanketed the Earth and large bodies of water formed over the surface of Earth, and thereby isolating areas of the Earth in order to make it difficult for large populations of people to reside in certain locations. All right, and you can see that is still the case today with the large bodies of water and the ocean and the multiple layers of sand we have in various locations, deserted locations. All right, again, everyone, let me know if this is too difficult to see. Okay, it looks blurry. All right, so let me just do one at a time. Maybe I can do it top and bottom. Right. Please let me know if that's easier to see. And I'll just keep it full screen and move back and forth between the documents as we go along. Okay. Does this mean that he didn't have a digestive system absorbing his food from the sun? When studying physical science today, it is obvious that the metaphysical science of the astral distortion and the ring past knot or the ionospheric belt, has substance to it. The physical science tells us that the Earth's plant life extracts 14 major minerals from within the Earth's soil, along with sunlight, to produce fruits and vegetables that we, animals and humans, use to replenish ourselves. The Earth's soil, by definition, is as follows. The basic components of soils are minerals, organic matter, dead remains, water, and air, carbon dioxide, or the out-breath of animals and humans. The typical soil consists of approximately 45% mineral, 5% organic matter, 20 to 30% water, and 20 to 30% air. All of this shows the effects of astral distortion in air, ground, water, and food of man. Dr. George King recommended 2 books that gave detailed information on the modification of the subtle energies from the ancient mystic yogic teachings. These 2 books are The Serpent Power by Arthur Avalon, or Sir John Woodwolf, and Nature's Finer Forces by Rama Prasad. Dr. George King also stated that it would take 20 years to begin to understand just a few pages of the serpent power. The following table briefly describes the modified sunlight of Earth that sustains all life on Earth, which is affected by the impurities of man's thoughts and actions. If you go to our YouTube channel, you'll see actually one of our most popular series is a series on the serpent power. So here's the actual playlist. Nima actually gave like 18 classes specifically on, or 18 lectures specifically on material covered in the serpent power. And you're welcome to go back and review this playlist and look at some of these videos. I can see all of them here because I'm logged in as the administrator, Mystic Knowledge, but I think some of these classes are made private. But if you go through the playlist and you would like access to those private classes, send us an email, and if approved, I will grant you access. But send us an email from the account you use to access YouTube. And then if approved, I'll be able to grant you access. But you can also pick up a copy of The Serpent Power, either from Amazon or whatever retailer you prefer. And I believe we may have a copy of Serpent Power on our website, mysticknowledge.org. But it's an advanced study, quite a difficult read. So I don't think I'll be, I probably will not include it in one of our study sessions, as meaning just an audiobook session. But you're welcome to pick up the text, study it, and use these classes as well as the notes that and handouts that Nehemiah generated on this material to help you understand, or begin to understand information in serpent power. But everything presented in the serpent power, you will also find in our classes and lectures. So the Mystic Constitution of Man, for example, it is information you'll find in the serpent power, our Tantra Yoga series, all of that you'll find in our classes presented in a way that's easier to understand and follow along. But you're still more than welcome and highly recommended for you to go back and pick up a copy of Serpent Power, as well as other texts that we refer to and recommend, both in the Mystic Knowledge Center as well as the Aether Society, for your further study and development. Okay, let's go back to question. So here we have 6 centers reflected in this table, starting with the base of the spine, the Mudahara. And both the base of the spine and the sex center belong to the earth group. meaning the Rudra modified sunlight for the both base of the spine and the sex center. Base of the spine have 56 tattvic rays. Its major prana is Apana, and its minor prana is Naga. And then the sex center, again, Rudra modified sunlight group, earth group. It has 62 tattvic rays, and both the base and the sex belong to the Agni Kanda group. Its major prana is Vyana, and its minor prana is Kurma. Then we come to number 3 and 4, the solar plexus and the heart center, both belonging to the Sun or Vishnu group. The solar plexus having 52 tattvic rays. The heart center having 54 tattvic rays. Both belong to the Suya group. The major prana for the solar plexus center is Samana. The minor prana is Devadatta. And for the heart center, its major prana is Prana, and its minor prana is Krikara. Then we come to the throat and Christ centers, belonging to the Moon or Chandra group. Both of the Brahma Chandra reflected sunlight conversion points. The throat center having 72 tattvic rays, and the Christ center having 64 tattvic rays. The throat center, its major prana is Udana. Its minor prana is Dahana Jaya. And the major prana for the Christ center is Manas. There is no minor prana there. The two books tell us that man's chakras below the heart chakra are stuffed with impurity traits that have accumulated over eons of man's reincarnation of bad thoughts and actions. They have served to pollute the earth on most of the realms of earth. The ring pass knot works to conceal man from spreading their impurities to certain areas of the earth and limit man from progressing until he has reached higher levels of understanding of the laws of karma, to ensure that he never steps out of the strict laws of karma while in possession of advanced spiritual powers. All right. See attached diagrams showing the impurity traits. All right, so let's hop over to that diagram. That's the wrong app. Okay. So we can see here in this diagram, not only illustrated the 21 impurity traits, but we can also see on the left-hand side these centers that correspond to the respective realms. As mentioned before, for Adamic man, their base of the spine was here at the heart center, and they existed in the etheric realms, meaning all the realms from the heart center upward. The astral realms were not present on earth at the time of Adamic man. These lower realms were brought into being in order to house the incoming life streams, us, after the destruction of Maldek. So when you hear discussion of the great sacrifice that the Mother Earth made on our behalf, this is one of the sacrifices she made for us. and many, many, many more, even continuing on to this very day. Okay. So let's look at these impurity traits. Starting with the solar plexus psychic vortex center, the Manipura chakra. We have selfishness, fear, envy, lust, laziness, possession, deceit, revenge, guilt, cravings, gluttony. As we move down even further, down to the psychic center, the vortex center, pride, attachment, hatred, passion, malice, jealousy. And then down to the base of the spine, psychic vortex center, desire, anger, greed, delusion. And as you notice, as we move down the center, the impurity traits become more and more animalistic. And let's see if we have that here. And that is because in these lower centers here, these are the centers operating today. These are the centers, as we're taught, and for the animal kingdom. All right. And so for the animals, their crown is our base of the spine. So they're moving through these centers and their expression, their conscious expression. And when they get to the base of the spine, they take on a humanoid form. And so that's why if you look at those impurity traits, you can see it becomes more and more dense, more and more animalistic as you go lower and lower and lower in the centers. Let me zoom in here so we can look at this text. Oh, so I apologize for constantly zooming in and out. After the introduction of the Maldek man, the lower mental subtle realms were created, which made it necessary for the Mother Earth to allow the heart chakra, okay, the heart chakra here, to split itself multiple times, creating the solar plexus chakra, the sex chakra, and the base of the spine chakra. Then having to further split the realms from sex and base chakras to create even lower chakras for mental and physical realms of the animal life, sea life, insect life, plant life, and mineral life. All right, so those are the centers we were just referring to, which go down into the leg region. A great metamorphosis took place on Earth, possibly for several 100,000 years, in order to bring about the above mentioned changes to Earth realms and atmosphere. Excuse me. When the Adamic man agreed to accept the Maldek man here on Earth and help with their transition here, the Adamic man, by karmic law, had to slowly transition away from Earth. During this period of Earth's natural metamorphosis took place, excuse me, to meet the obligation of housing the life streams of Maldek, which including subdividing the Anahata chakra, the heart chakra, level of consciousness into several lower levels of consciousness, including the basic spine chakra level, which became the basic level of Maldek man's consciousness. All right, like think about that for a second. There was a time on Earth for the Adamic men, their basic level of consciousness, the base of their spine, as we recall to it, was the heart center. But in order to take upon the life streams that had just destroyed their own planet and were to be incarnated somewhere, they had to go somewhere. All the other planets, Dr. George King goes into great detail about this in his teachings, and as well as Man Blavatsky as well. But we, after destroying a planet, needed somewhere to go, a planet to go, and the other planets within the solar system were too advanced and too far developed to make such a fall, really, to bring upon humanity. The only planet which we can go to, and the karmic lords approached, was the Mother Earth. But even then, she had to make a great departure down into the lower realms in order to allow us to come here. And so it's going from a base consciousness, the heart center, all the way down to really the base of the spine and lower, to allow us to come here is a tremendous sacrifice that we at present barely understand ourselves. The first two known levels of chakra consciousness under the Anahata chakra are the higher levels of the astral realms. So when we say the upper astral realms, that's referring to the solar plexus, sex center, and part of the base. The base of the spine chakra, Muladhara chakra, is that level of consciousness and realms of existence that acts as the gross physical realm and the astral plane that equally intersects with the gross physical planes of existence. Sorry, interface with the gross physical plane of existence. It is the middle ground between the upper astral realms and the etheric realms and the lower astral realms below the Muladhara chakra, the base of the spine chakra. So you can see here why it is upon incarnation to the gross physical realm where we can advance the most in our spiritual development, because of the karmic pressures that are exerted upon this realm and the sex center, these two realms, but particularly so when we take up physical incarnation on the gross physical realm, if we take advantage of the time that we have here to really push forward in our spiritual evolution and advancement, we can make tremendous strides forward in our development and evolution. That's right, Nimari. That's correct, right?
Yeah, but what the ancient teachings tell us, that yes, we are here through the Muladhara chakra, the base of the spine, but our consciousness resides in the sex center. That is the seat of consciousness. And it further tells us that we are guided by the Brahma group that we was talking about earlier, by the throat center and the adrenal, which is the Christ center. It guides consciousness. In other words, the soul that's where the seat of the soul is, and the higher self. And the higher self give us inspiration, and we can only speak through the throat center, which is a pure system. It doesn't allow certain thought to be manifested until the karmic conditions are there. In other words, you know how you have an ideal of what you want to do, and you have these. It's just like we go back to Star Trek back in the 1960s when they had all these gadgets, and it was in the mind. It was in the imagination of the creator of that show. He couldn't explain it and couldn't voice it the way he wanted to. Now, then you fast forward 20 years later, and it can be explained in great detail, because why? Because the karmic conditions are right.
Right.
You know, so that's what they mean by the purification of the voice. of the throat center, because the throat center is the purification. It allows the mental thought to be transmitted into voice, into sound, but under the right common conditions by law. So nothing is ever given to us, especially verbally, if we're not ready for it.
Right.
Because that's one of the laws. And the only reason why we have this technology here today is because of the right common conditions was given to us, all the elements to bring that to help create the right vehicle of expression to allow that to exist here on the physical plane. So we're guided by the mental world to express our physical expressions. So that's what we always have to, that's part of the read past not too as well. I know it's kind of difficult to understand, but it all makes sense when you start putting all the
pieces together. There's a question here. Are we at the end of the fifth root race?
I honestly don't know. I mean, I hear people trying to say that, but according to some of the teachings, especially of the Theosophical and Hindu teachings, that the sixth race will be totally different. So I mean, even in physical, although the first root race was very different from the fifth race, but so I don't think we are. I think we're moving towards there. The body shape, the body color, all that stuff have to change for the sixth root race, and you won't have all the different spectrums of color in the races according to the ancient teachings. You will have a blended color of one race, and so that means that the climate on the earth will change. You won't have all the cycles of like winter, fall, winter, spring, summer, and fall or autumn. You won't have all of that according to them. The earth will move to a different position where you can have essentially one season, or maybe two seasons, and you would have a lot of the different races that will disappear, and you will only have one race, one color, or one body type. You have multiple body types, but all of them will be similar. In other words, and be effective to allow mankind to grow and learn and succeed in whatever he do, according to some of the ancient teachings. And the stature, the height of man will be, you won't have the little people, the medium people. They claim that most people on earth will be at least 6 feet and higher. So, but it's people interpretation of the ancient teachings. They read it and then they give. That's where the Upanishads come from. It's nothing but a commentary, but it's a commentary by great. They gave the commentary.
Okay.
Just the next section.
Yeah, next question. As if his root chakra was vibrating at the heart frequency, what were the other 6 major chakras, or where were the other 6 major chakras situated, and what cause would they have vibrated at? According to the ancient mystic teachings, all chakras are an extension of the crown chakra, Sahasrara chakra. The Adamic man had no need for the realms below the heart chakra. Therefore, all the potential energy configurations that can make up the lower chakras was kept or held in abeyance at the heart chakra. We are told by Mars Sector 6 that the heart chakra has 2 faces. The throat chakra, 1 face, and the third eye chakra, 3 faces, and the crown chakra, 998 faces, petals, according to the Buddhist teachings. Okay, so this comes from, I think the next few questions are regarding teachings in the 9 freedoms. Okay, so just really quickly pop over and show everyone where they can pick up both, pick up a copy. So if you go to, oh, so you guys can't see that right now. If you go to aetherius.org and click here on the shop link, and I went to books, you see on the first line, let me go to USD. The 9 freedoms here. And you can pick up a copy from, order directly from the Society, or you can also get an ebook version, Amazon, Google, and so on. There is also a series of lectures that Dr. George King gave on each of the freedoms, also available here at the Society website on the store. And this is a cosmic treatise on the progress of ascension to cosmic existence. I'd highly recommend everyone pick up a copy of this text and study it, as well as the commentaries. Now let's take a series of commentary lectures given by Dr. George King. He gives commentary in the text as well, and then expands even further in a series of lectures on each freedom. And also we have a playlist of lectures that Nehemiah gave as well on the 9 freedoms. And so the questions that we're looking at now come from some of the statements made by Mars Sector 6 in the 9 freedoms. From the study and practice of yoga teachings, it seems that the great Lord of Karma, Mars Sector 6, was describing the main actions of each chakra, or psychic vortex center of Earthman. The heart chakra, 2 faces, expresses itself in pairs of 2 always. An example of this is the power of the Ida nadis and the power of the Pingala nadis. Another example is also the air and blood, as in the blood, arteries, and blood veins, the lungs and heart, etc. All right, so let me hop over. And so to follow along with that answer, there's also the series of handouts. So this should be in the Google Drive shared folder, this collection of handouts, where we actually look, take a deeper dive into each of their respective chakras, as well as looking at the mandalas that go with them. And yeah, it's actually all the centers right here, for the base up to the Christ. Let me pick it. So I'll read the answers, then I'll come back and read through the diagrams for the heart, throat, and Christ. I believe those are the centers mentioned in the response. Yes. Number 2, the throat chakra has one face that expresses a pure channel, such as a voice box moving thoughts to sound, as Nehemiah just talked about a few minutes ago. The third eye chakra's 3 faces are the termination point of subtle energy flows within the auric envelope that travels in and out of all 106 psychic vortex centers below Ajna chakra, or third eye psychic vortex center. The first face or main action of the third eye chakra is the Ida nadis. Right? There's a mental flow of subtle energies that terminates its flow at this chakra, as the command point. All right, this chakra is referring to as a third chakra. So that's we see this. Remember the diagrams illustrations. Every time we have an illustration of the chakra system in Sushumna, we have Ida and Pingala intersecting each chakra, intersecting each chakra, crisscrossing each other, intersecting each chakra, making their way up to their equilibrium point at the Christ chakra. The second phase in Ajna is the Pingala nadis, a vital flow of subtle energies that terminates its flow of power in recognition that this is the command center. Finally, the third phase is the Sushumna nadis, a neutral flow of subtle energies that terminates its flow at this most sacred psychic vortex center of power, which is known as the command center for the soul of man, and the position where man reaches an avatar conscious level. When he, the adept, has quieted the desires of the basic man by raising the full power of Kundalini in a balanced fashion to the heart chakra, then he can see and feel the real karmic desires of truth and begin to understand his or her karmic duties under the laws of karma. All right, so what's being referred to here? When he, the adept, raises the power full of Kundalini, the base, in full, up to the heart, right? He quiets all the desires of mass, was referring to here. So all this has been burnt up and through the full rising of Kundalini. And it is here at the heart center where he's able to finally begin to understand the full, as mentioned in the text prior. Let me go back and read it. Let me not paraphrase. Then he can see and feel the real karmic desires of truth and to begin to understand his or her karmic duties under the laws of karma. Okay. The throat chakra, Vishuddha chakra, is a center of purification where all past and present actions are purified by raising the power of Kundalini in a balanced fashion to the throat chakra. At the full rise of Kundalini to the throat center, the adept becomes a master. After the full rise of Kundalini, the master quantifies all his thoughts and actions strategically in accordance with the laws of karma. Now he or she understands that their main actions must be manipulated under strict karmic laws in order to move this power to the Christ chakra, where he or she becomes an avatar of this earth and solar system and partially becomes one with the cosmic consciousness of the Mother Earth and the solar system to truly begin to understand the laws of karma and the tremendous work that we are faced with. So you'll see repeated constantly throughout this response is the raising the full power of Kundalini, raising of the full power of Kundalini, raising the power of Kundalini. If at any time you come across a teaching or someone telling you that the raising of the full power of Kundalini is not essential or is not necessary, run from that person, because that person is misguiding you. In all the ancient teachings, you will see them referred to as in teachings, in the correct teachings, you will see them referring to, it is all talking about the raising of Kundalini, a full raising of Kundalini in a balanced fashion. Do you want to add anything to that?
No, I think I summed it up there, unless someone else have a question.
Okay, so let's go back to the what do you think? Should I read this, Nehemiah? Because we're kind of running short on time.
Go back and I think the questions.
Okay, yeah.
I think if it helps to clarify, then we can come back to that.
Okay. I am wondering whether the heart and third eye chakras got wrapped together as man evolved, and as he evolves, these will unfurl and stand alone. In the involution of man, the spirit through the soul extends the crown chakra in order to produce 106 of the chakras. This sets the groundwork to produce a network of chakras that pulls the mighty cosmic energies into a localized field that helps to build an auric envelope of substance. In addition, within the auric envelope is produced a matrix of nadis, which are thin magnetic lines of energy flows with opposite qualities of power that travels in and out of the 106 vortex center chakras that serves to produce various levels of consciousness that drives the man down through involution and back to the Godhead through evolution. So if you remember some of the most recent open discussions, we were going over the Metaphysics 101 Class 2 transcript. We actually looked at the nadis and looked at some illustrations. What's going on here? There's some illustration of the nadi network expressed throughout the human auric structure. So originally it was all the crown. And in our involution, the spirit through the soul extends the crown, creating the Christ, the throat, the heart, and then extended down even further, the solar plexus, the sex center, and the Muladhara, and extended down even further, the centers in the legs, but all 106 chakras were originally in the crown, and it was through the extension, when the spirit through the soul extended the crown, the other 106 chakras were produced, as well as the matrix, the nadi matrix, which passes energy through all those 108 chakras in a localized field. All right, so that's it for those questions. There was a follow-up question that was emailed to us. Okay, so the next question and the subsequent questions go into a deeper specific to destruction of Maldek and the process the Mother Earth took on to allow us to incarnate here. I don't think we'll have time to go into all the Maldek stuff today. So I guess I'll finish up today with reading the diagrams for the heart, throat, and Christ chakra, as well as answering any additional questions we have. Okay. And then next time we'll pick up with the Maldek integration. I'll actually go into the PowerPoint as well. So again, this handout, the 6 chakras from the base in Christ. I do remember uploading it to the Google Drive share folder. I don't remember exactly which year it is in, but if you search through it, you should be able to find a series of diagrams just like this. It's the exact diagrams, actually, where in-depth discussion is given on the 6 chakras from the base up to the Christ. So starting with the heart chakra, the Anahata chakra, this vortex center chakra configures itself into a force that attracts and produces the cosmic energies of air, which is the cosmic element known as the Vayu Bhutas. It is from this that the consciousness of the soul is fed, sustained, and given the ability to pervade the whole body with its body of consciousness. This chakra is the seat of the soul. It is from this point that the soul begins to embody itself with grosser material. Okay? The subtle sounds produced here is constant from birth to death, and before birth and after death. It is the expressed power of the soul. Pada sound is an expression of soundness awareness and potential consciousness. The subtle sound is localized consciousness expressed through a series of organized energy, vortex energy centers that expresses life, such as a heartbeat that pushes oxygenated blood throughout the body and pulls carbon dioxide blood back into the lungs and heart to expel harmful agents from the body and to be reoxygenated. The subtle sound sustains consciousness through this process. Audible sound expresses the sustained life manifesting itself in the subtle auric bodies and gross physical body. This chakra regulates the sustaining sonic signals that holds consciousness in place on several realms of existence. The heart center is the 4th major nadi knot and is called the Anahata chakra in Sanskrit terms. The Sanskrit terminology Anahata is said to mean the wheel of unstruck sound. This carries and releases the holy sound vibration or seed mantra YAM, which is released from the bindu via the soul through this chakra. This sound represents the control of the Shakti power as mind. The chakra gives meaning to the Shakti power through the manifestation of the Nadic power that resonates here. And so from that, you can get a very good understanding of why this particular center is the seat of the soul. And I also want to bring your attention to the traits that are expressed here. Right? Different from the, oh, did I close it already? I think I did. Why did I close that? Oh well.
It's very different from the impurity trait.
Yeah, I was going to kind of go back to that. I think I closed it. It was very different from the impurity traits that are expressed in the lower three centers, referred to as the upper astral realms. Here at the heart center, we're moving into the etheric realm, and the traits are very different. But you can also take a look and understand why in the 9 freedoms, Mars Sector 6 stated that the first freedom shall be bravery. It is through bravery that we overcome all those impurity traits and begin to express the second freedom, as you can see here, love, and so on, bliss, peace, harmony, empathy, understanding, charity, clarity, forgiveness. We can only express these if we're brave enough to do so. You have to be brave to love, to be brave to place peace, have to be brave for understanding, forgiveness, and so on and so forth. The diagram below demonstrates the energy flow within a chakra, which is a compaction on subtle forces behind gross physical manifestation. Right? Or in other words, in order for gross physical manifestation, there has to be a compaction on the subtle forces. So from the Adamic man, the heart center upwards, this compaction does not take place because there was no need for gross physical manifestation. But in order for humanity at present to incarnate itself upon the Mother Earth, these cosmic energies had to be compacted. These energies had to be compacted and slowed so that a gross physical manifestation took place, and hence why the heart center was the one that was extended downwards. And that compaction takes place upon the solar plexus center, a greater compaction in the sex center, even greater compaction in the base of spine center, and so on and so forth. Is that correct, Iman?
Yeah, and remember that the heart chakra, everything is given meaning.
Meaning, yeah.
And it creates the subtle bodies that will empower the physical body. So the physical body cannot function without the heart chakra. And that's why we stress the throat sound of the constant beat of the heart. Allows the heart to pump and push the blood through, and push and bring oxygen in and push carbon dioxide out. That's the sound mechanism there that they spoke about thousands upon thousands of years ago when they described this. So it creates the subtle vehicle to allow the physical vehicle to express itself through voice and gross physical body.
So you see here on the left hand says the pull and attraction of energies. We're going to go from back to front, left to right. The energy is moving in and out of the center or through the bindu, represented all around the center. And then we have the full nada expression of various gross levels of existence. That's what these here, in and through. We have the mind, pranas, bhutas, nadis in a wave of tattvic matter rays. As in bindu, a point of pure consciousness here in the center. And then down here, these lines, the radiating out from the back and front. There's a wave of modified tattvic matter, creating the realms of existence according to the karmic pressures needed at the time. Okay. So next we move to the throat center, the Vishuddha chakra. This chakra is the vortex center of power that purifies all types of energies that passes through it. The 16 petals of this chakra are the vowels of the Sanskrit alphabet. It is here where the embodied consciousness of man expresses itself from. The Udana prana that flows from this vortex center operates within the head, arms, legs, and which are all tools of expression. All right, and also on top of that, you'll see whenever we talk about the 10 senses, you'll see that the arms and legs, the feet, are included in the listing of the 10 senses as meaning in ways in which we interact with the environment. The throat center is the 5th major nadi knot and is called Vishuddhi chakra in the Sanskrit terminology, which means the wheel of purity. It is the vortex center of purification. This chakra is the final resting place of the 4th aspect of sound, like Hari sound, that gives mankind the ability to manifest consciousness on the physical and subtle realms of existence simultaneously. This is the chakra that man must operate from in order to break the ring past knot, the force field that bounds mankind here on Earth. When mankind can fully raise the power of Kundalini consciously to the Vishuddhi chakra and fully activate and open this chakra, then it is said that he can exit his physical body with the etheric body in full consciousness and this planet and visit any other planet in this solar system for a specific time. Such is the power of the throat chakra. The chakra is made up of several sonic forces as well. It has the seed mantra, or bija, H-A-M, that produces 16 petals or letters, sound bits, and 72 tattvic rays, which are 72 modes of motion. These modes of motion configure themselves in a manner that manifests various qualities of purification, suddhi. The 72 tattvic rays are made up from the quality of the 3rd Mahabindu force, the moon. The reflective energy rays of the mighty sun being conditioned by the moon and its loyal Luna divas help to shape the mental realms of Earth. The Sanskrit name for this Luna divas is called the Chandra Diva group. I looked at that earlier when we were talking about the various centers. See here, the Christ and the throat belonging to the moon Chandra group, or again here as well. So I hope you're able to, as we're going through this, if you're able to make the correlation between what Mars Sector 6 stated, the two faces of the heart, the one face of the throat, and the 3 faces of the Christ, and then in the response, given that these faces are referring to the operation or function of the main actions of the psychic centers. See, they hope the points are beginning to, connecting the dots are beginning to be made here for those of you who are familiar with both the teachings of Nine Freedoms and the explanations that have been given here. Okay, and then we come to the Christ Center, the Ajna Chakra. The Christ Center, Ajna Chakra, is the sixth major nadi knot. The ancient Sanskrit word Ajna means command. Place chakra after the word and you have a short meaning of command wheel. This chakra is located between the eyebrows within the etheric structure. Here. This chakra is where the spinal column is terminated. It's also where the three nadic energy flows called Ida, Pingala, and Sushumna nadis terminate and merge back as one consciousness. The first level of equilibrium of the Shakti power was at the base of the spine, and the second equilibrium level of Shakti along the spinal column is the Christ chakra. The Bindu energy expressed here is the highest level of static Shakti power being expressed along the spinal column. The deep, pure meditation at this level takes the adept to a level of mastership. This chakra is called the Guru chakra. The activation and opening of this chakra is brought about by the full conscious rays of the power of Kundalini after entering a deep state of meditation. Again, we cannot escape this. This must be done through each center, a full conscious rays of the power of Kundalini. The man that fully taps into this power by raising the Kundalini to the Christ center and fully activating it destroys all negative karma of his past lives and transcends all the positive karma of the past lives. This Christ chakra is made up of bija sound of OM that produces two petals or letters. These two extend themselves as nadis. This chakra has 64 tattvic rays, which are 64 sonic modes of motion, where movement patterns of the cosmic energies that travel through the chakra and nadis leave this chakra. The motion of prana is brought about by the nada, sound aspect of prana, Shakti. Now, the nada aspect of prana is always accompanied with a devic presence. In fact, all movement is governed by the law of karma, which are the devas in action. So if you have 64 tattvic rays, then you also have 64 devas that are responsible for the tattvic rays. All right, and that holds true for all of the psychic centers. So when you see in illustrations and diagrams, when the tattvic rays associated with that psychic center are denoted, know that there is a devic presence accompanying each tattvic ray. Therefore, 360 tattvic rays yields 360 devic presence or devic presence. The tattvic ray of this chakra is conditioned by the third Mahabindu force of the etheric body, the moon. These rays collect from the mighty sun and reflect off the moon toward the Mother Earth's dark side to assist in manifesting the mental power necessary for building and maintaining the mental astral planes of existence. The tattvic rays are the sonic modes of motion that act as harmonic signals to stabilize subtle and gross manifestation within the human structure. Hakini, a devic entity that resides over the bindu within this chakra that releases the bija, the holy sound or seed mantra of OM, and with it becomes the bija's additional seed mantras called petals, numbering 2 petals, which brings an end to the flow of cosmic energies called Ida and Pingala. So if we look here on the left of our mystic man, we have involution going down the centers and evolution moving up the centers. So we involve down to the base of the Muladhara, and that there is the formation of self-consciousness. As was mentioned earlier, the animal kingdom, and so forth, make their way up these lower centers to the Muladhara, and it's at that point they enter the formation of self-consciousness. Evolving further, we have this. The sex center is the seat of self-consciousness. The solar plexus center is the major intake, exchange, and transference of subtle energies that helps to sustain the manifested life within all components of the body. And let me see if there was one for the heart center here. Actually, no. Well, the heart center is where meaning is given. At the throat center is the manifestation of life through the fourth aspect of consciousness, the physical realm. And then at the Christ center, we have the command center. Was there anything you wanted to add, Nehemiah?
No.
Okay. Any further questions? No.
How long ago I wrote this? I don't have a date on it.
No. I think these were a part of another series where you went into detail of each of the mandalas.
Serpent power.
Yeah.
Right? This is part of serpent power.
Yeah, this is
part of serpent power lecture?
Yeah, so this is at least 10 years old. Because Serpent Power series was given 9-10 years ago, and you think you had these before that.
Yeah.
Okay, so next time, that concludes this series of questions. Next time, there was additional questions that are emailed to us. Next time, we'll pick up on that one. But I hope from that, everyone can get a better understanding of what was what Master 6 referring to when he was talking about the two faces of the heart, the one face of the throat, and the three faces of the third eye, and the response that was given here. Next time, we will pick up with the questions, the follow-up questions that were asked regarding specifically the Maldek, and we'll look at the responses as well as a PowerPoint presentation that gave more detail about that subject. Are there any final questions or comments before we close out today's session? So do remember, when you get the chance, to go back to our playlist, and you can find a lot of information that we're reviewing here, specific lectures and series given on the subject matter, be it the serpent power, the human aura and aspect of the auric body, the 21 lessons, metaphysics, the foundations of mystic and yogic teachings, as well as Metaphysics 101 series, which will be finishing up over the next couple of, we're finishing up pretty soon, because I think we're more than halfway through the transcript, and the transcripts only cover the first 15 to 30 minutes of lecture. Also, go back and you can check out our website, mysticknowledge.org, and an entire library of teachings are made available for you to download for free. You can download those, read them, study them. Any questions or comments you have, you can bring them to us, and we'll go over those for you. And you can also go back to the theories.org website, onto the store, to pick up a copy of the 9 Freedoms, both the text, the commentary lectures given by Dr. George King, and if inclined, also pick up the transmissions, the actual audio recording of the transmissions that were of the 9 Freedoms that were given to the mediumship of Dr. George King by Mars Sector 6. Right. So if there's no further questions or comments, let us close out today's session reciting the New Lord's Prayer. And if there are any other questions or topics or subjects you have or would like for us to cover in future sessions, by all means, feel free to email those to us, and we'll be more than happy to answer those questions for you in a session. And if you would like us to participate in further discussions in maybe some of your own groups that you may be hosting, let us know. We might be able to arrange a chance for us to participate in those discussions and study groups as well. All right, let us close out with the New Lord's Prayer. The New Lord's Prayer. O divine and wondrous Spirit, O everlasting Lord of hosts, send forth now through me thy great and lasting power. Allow me, Almighty God, the lasting privilege of radiating to all the world thy great love, so that those who suffer may be given the power and energy to rise above their weaknesses. Almighty God, in great humility do I ask you to send forth your power to give to me this great lasting privilege of being a channel, so that my suffering brothers may be helped and guided and healed and lifted into thy light, so that they who know not may look up, and in doing so receive to their higher selves your divine counsel. Almighty God, this day have you granted me a divine privilege. I ask you now to give to me the strength, so that never again will I turn from my inner vision of you. Oh, great peace, great peace, great peace. In praise of your greatness, O God, doth my soul sing. Grant it energy to sing on forever and forever. All right, thank you very much, everyone, for your attendance and participation. Again, if you have any questions or comments, feel free to email them to us at Mystic Knowledge Center, all one word, at gmail.com. You can let us know if you're comfortable with us answering those questions in a subsequent open discussion session, or if you would prefer for us to answer them privately. Again, and if there are any other topics or subject material you'd like for us to cover, let us know and we'll do our best to address those for you. Otherwise, have a wonderful week and we'll see you next time. Take care.